On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
Is the only, which I can agree with. The only thing that I just don't like that you're doing and that you've done on other shows is just pushing this idea like Black people just are inherently worse than other races of people just because. Like, and you said, I think I mentioned it earlier, it's not the majority, it's not half of people, of Black people. It's nowhere near that of Black people that are out shooting and killing and committing crimes. It's just not the case. So like when you push this narrative and it's just like we are this way and the Black culture is this way, you're using the minority to represent all the Black people.
Wait, because what you let me get you right. I didn't say a majority of us was doing it. I said a majority of us is exposed to it. I said for a million times, I never did it, but I was exposed to it.
Off of what your interests are. It's not based off of the machine or the man. And as a matter of fact, all of those companies that they listed in the beginning, those are publicly held companies, meaning that anybody can buy into them. The CEO of those companies, they are literally nominated by the board. Anybody can own a part of that company. I own pieces of Disney. I own pieces. Like, what are we talking about? These are publicly traded companies. You don't even know who own them. You have no idea whatsoever. And so when it comes back down to it, it all comes back down to personal responsibility. We can point the finger all that we want. We can argue semantics and talk about how Black culture is this and that and all of that. But when it comes down to it, what you consume and what it is that you adopt as your everyday, every single day you doing these specific behaviors, it's more of a reflection of the thing that I say is trash than the thing that you say should be celebrated. You yourselves are picking the thing that's trash, and that's what you spend your money, and that's what's generating on your algorithm. So I don't want to hear none of that until I see an algorithm or everything that you're doing, how you talk, how you live your life, whatever it is that you're spending your money on. I want that to look different before we start talking about how awesome Black culture is. I don't want to hear none of that crap.
But it's easy. This is the problem with the whole conversation.
Do I present myself as a city girl?
I'm just saying this. No, I'm done. I'm done with this. The problem with the whole conversation is it's easy for us to blame a white man. It's easy for us to blame a white man instead of sitting here. We can blame all these companies. We can blame all these white mans instead of the niggas that's in the neighborhood that's doing it. Like I said, you might not have been raised in it. And guess what? I salute you for that. But I was, and I saw it. And I saw nobody put no gun in nobody's head to make them twerk. Nobody put nobody gun in their head to make them get an OnlyFans, sell pussy, sell nothing. They did that on their own. It's no big media doing that. So like when you try to take this, like that article, and try to push the blame on these corporations, do I think it's a part of the problem? Yes. But guess what? If you want to fix the problem, you go to the root of the problem, not the top of the problem. And if for this to be going down like this, it's like this. We're Black people. We know we destroy shit. We know we destroy shit. Have a party and you will see we destroy shit. So we can't be honest with ourselves.
Mr. Logic, you said something, and it speaks to something Kayla said earlier, that you in your particular neighborhood, maybe your particular circle of friends, I don't know. It seems you have been exposed to certain things and you think that this is just every Black person, which is just, I mean, something maybe that you need to consider is not.
I think a lot of reality is your perception. So if you're perceiving something as is where you grew up, what you see on TV, then that's going to be your reality. My reality and how I grew up and what I see on TV and what I listen to is probably a lot different maybe than is yours, Mr. Logic. But again, I don't see all that you're seeing. I see Black folks doing well.
My point is this.
I'm surrounded.
Hold on, one at a time, yo.
I'm surrounded by Black people that are doing well, and Black families.
And I'm with you, ma'am. See, that's why I'm not arguing with you. I'm just showing you. I'm showing you something different. And like I said, you remember what I said last time, right?
To bring you up, Miss China.
I said something last time, right? I was with the woman who tried to stop all of this. I brought up Dolores Tucker how many times on this panel? She was shitted on by black men and women for trying to stop exactly what we have existing now. And my point to you is you can't say it's wrong unless you can tell me that it's not a lot of out of that link I just dropped you. Look at the top 50 cities on that link. And if you cannot tell me them the highest crime areas that's produced by black people, just use the top 50. Because I can go all the way down and I can go to a place I was at that's on this list, Fayetteville, North Carolina. And look, there you go. New York, Atlanta, Chicago.
Do you know about the correlation between poverty and crime?
Well,
I didn't say poverty. I said,
I said, do you know about the correlation between poverty and crime?
oh man.
Here you go. What, you gonna fade out again?
Right.
I'm not gonna
It's
fade
just
out.
kind of crazy because with our history as black people in this country, it's just kind of crazy that you're just saying like, oh, black people are just horrible. It's like you've been given the same opportunity to excel and y'all are just the worst. And it's like,
well,
like there's not a
Mr. Logic,
I understand
what happened.
redlining that prevents black people from living in certain areas. Like it's like none of the other stuff matters.
None of the
Right?
education
First
stuff.
of all,
None
our
of the
culture is so
anything.
trash.
Okay, but what you're doing is you're making another argument, and we can have that. I agree.
Okay.
I
Mr.
agree.
Logic.
Listen what I'm saying. I agree with you that it's a lot of factors that you said that push into this bubble. And I say, I agree with you. It's education. It's all this stuff. I agree with you. But what we got to do first is say it exists. We'll never change it if we have people saying it's these big companies. We got to come together as black men and women and say, this exists. We need to change it. It is a problem. You can go after the music companies. It won't do nothing because it won't stop the activity.
If I'm understanding you correctly, because I'm hoping that this is what you mean, acknowledging that there are issues within our communities, which I can agree with, the only thing that I just don't like that you're doing and that you've done on other shows is just pushing this idea like black people just are inherently worse than other races of people just because, like, and you said, I think I mentioned it earlier. It's not the majority. It's not half of black people. It's nowhere near that of black people that are out shooting and killing and committing crimes. It's just not the case. So like when you push this narrative and it's just like we are this way and the black culture is this way, you're using the minority to represent all of black people.
Wait, but you let me get you right. I didn't say a majority of us was doing it. I said a majority of us is exposed to it. I said for 1,000,000 times, I never did it, but I was exposed to it.